Okay, it's week 2, so let's make sure we know what we are working on, what you need to have done this week. The first thing that you need to do is obviously the literacy narrative peer review. I'm not going to say any more about it on this video because I will be making another video just for that assignment to explain how to do it. But of course, get that taken care of first. The next thing you're going to have is the reading quiz of Lamott and Giovanelli. So both of these articles deal with revising the writing process. You guys are in the middle of the writing process right now as you are drafting and doing peer review, and then you're going to revise your own work. So it's important that you have a really good grasp of what revision is. And so read both of these articles and watch the video lecture and then take the quiz after you've completed those. And then for Wednesday, what you're doing is you are taking, that information about revising and proofreading and all of that and applying it to your own paper. So the literacy narrative final draft is due by Wednesday at 11:59. It is up to you to go through your own work, to check for flow, to check for any grammar or punctuation issues, to make sure that the essay makes sense, and that you are depicting the stories that you want to depict as it applies to your life and your experiences with literacy. So that is the only thing you have to do this Wednesday. When we're done with the literacy narrative, we're moving on to analyzing text, and in our case, we are going to be analyzing poetry. So section A1 in a writer's reference deals with critical reading, and so that's why you are assigned that section this week. Obviously, it's, when we're talking about critical reading, we can mean poetry or the newspaper or whatever. So don't get confused with that. But the lessons in A1 still apply to anything that you may read. So make sure you read that section carefully. Noting how to annotate text, that's really important and will be really important for your next essay, that you know how to annotate text yourself. But to get us going on this, we're going to read first a piece from Al Purdue about how to write about poetry, and that will kind of give you the idea of where we're headed. So you want to click on this URL here and go to Writing About Poetry. Read over this. It's not very long. Okay, and then after that, you'll notice that I have linked some helpers here. You're going to want to access these several times between now and your own poetry analysis essay. So make sure that you, if you have a printer, go ahead and print these off. That will be very helpful for you. Let's just look at what these are. This one isn't like a previous assignment. But we're not using it as, this specific assignment, but we can still use the questions that it has. It does mention some poetic devices here. And then I want to show you that I have provided you just for, so that you can remember. I know it's been a while since you have studied any poetry, since high school. Then you can read over these types of poetic devices, definitions, and then some examples of those just to help refresh your memory. And so we are going to take what we're learning here and apply it to a poem by Langston Hughes, one of my favorite authors. And the poem is called Theme for English B. It was written in 1949 at the height of the Harlem Renaissance. And you can access biographical information about Langston Hughes here at this link. And I recommend that you do that because understanding the poet can help you understand the poetry. And then if you'll click this URL here, it will bring up the actual poem. I'm not going to read this for you now. You will be seeing this again next week, the theme for English B. But I want you to read over this yourself here and apply those helpers, apply what you read at Al Purdue to this poem. If you have a printer, print it and annotate it as well. So, with that, this week we are going to participate in a discussion about Theme for English B, and I'm going to interact with you on this. And so on this discussion, I just ask that you choose one of these questions and answer it to the best of your ability. Remember, this is one of those engagement assignments, so we're looking for you to do your best, for you to follow the instructions. The first question says, what is the subject of the poem and what is happening? Number 2, why do you think Hughes wrote this poem? What is the speaker's attitude? 3, identify one poetic device Hughes uses and explain the effect of the device. And 4, what does the title mean? Does it have a broader meaning than just what is on the surface? Explore the possibilities. So here's the thing. You're going to answer this and post, hit reply to mine and post your answer. You won't be able to see others' posts until you've posted. So you can't rely on your classmates to get ideas. This has to come from you. And then once you've posted, you'll be able to see everybody else's work, and we can start interacting with each other. It says reply to at least one student offering commentary, criticism, or questions. Respect and college level writing are required. Please, the earlier you post, the better off this discussion is going to be, and the more it's going to help you with your own poetry analysis that is coming up next week. Okay, so that is the fun piece that we end the week with in week 2. And then just kind of looking ahead, we're not quite there yet, but you will be doing your own poetry analysis about your own selected poem or song, and I will explain more about that in the days to come. So that is all for week 2. Make sure you're going in order. Make sure you're reading all the assigned text, and that will help you understand each assignment that you have.